Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
My daughter lost her life because he wanted $20. And I wonder what he would do if somebody did that to his child.
The family of a 24-year-old Minnesota woman is speaking out tonight in hopes that the death of Sydney Jacobson and the arrest of her alleged drug dealer sparked change within the Monoman community.
39-year-old Gordon Warren is behind bars and charged with third-degree murder after court documents say he sold $15 worth of heroin mixed with fentanyl to Jacobson on May 14th, which later led to her overdose death.
Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley spoke exclusively with Jacobson's family today, who say just because she was an addict doesn't mean she wasn't a victim.
She was an amazing mom, amazing person, amazing daughter. She was just a ball of fun. You were never down when you're around her. It was always smiles.
Sydney Jacobson had been battling a heroin addiction for over 5 years, a battle her family says is hard to fight in a place like Monoman County.
Around here it's really bad. There's drugs everywhere. And her friends didn't help the process at all.
It's hard living here. It really is. And then we try to go get clean. I've been to treatment 15 times, and then they just throw us back to where we came from.
At the time of her overdose this spring, Jacobson's family says they thought she was finally on the right track, as she had been clean for about a month.
About 2 weeks earlier, and she told me, don't worry, Mom, I'll tell you if I start having cravings she gets triggered.
And while Bjerge says she's glad Gordon Warren is behind bars.
Unless I can have her back, nothing will ever make me feel completely okay with it.
The Monoman County Attorney's Office says Jacobson's death is only the second overdose in the last year that's resulted in criminal charges, saying it's hard to investigate and prosecute these types of cases, as few want to cooperate with law enforcement.
I'm glad that this one isn't going to go unsolved like so many others. I mean, I feel so bad for so many parents that won't ever get closure.
Both Bjerge and Hansen say they hope many lives are saved with people like Gordon Warren in jail, but say the community still has a long way to go.
I hope that they really open their eyes and they realize that Monoman County isn't playing around no more. The community hopefully comes together and we can stop the cycle, because it's not the way.
Hansen says she's been sober for 14 months, saying Sydney is now her motivation not only to stay clean, but to help others change their paths too. In Monoman, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
If convicted, Warren faces up to 25 years in prison. He is set to be back in court later next week.
It's not the kind of thing we want to see or even hear about, but it happens this time of year in the valley. Noticeably colder weather is again knocking on our door. Hutch is here to explain, and I know you're not the one who's opening the door.
No. And in fact, we do have those north winds that have been blowing, as you saw there on the Skycam. Those are going to continue tonight as well. Passing showers, a few rumbles of thunder across parts of western Minnesota. But right now from Grand Forks down into northern parts of Norman County, just not far from you in Ada, we have a path of showers there. A couple rumbles of thunder moving into Wadena and the Highway 10 corridor there near New York Mills. Hit and miss showers elsewhere, and it's windy out there. Wind advisory lasts till 8 o'clock. The winds will blow all night long with gusts over 25 miles per hour, even into the overnight. If you are heading out, wear that light jacket, Mike. We cannot rule out a sprinkle here in the FM area as we go through the evening. By tomorrow morning, some could see flakes of SNOW, and Friday morning looks to be the cold day, first alert weather day for your Friday morning. I'll have the details on all of that nonsense here in just a little bit.
I appreciate you not saying it.
Right.
Thanks.
Federal authorities are now charging a second person in connection with the May 30th riots in downtown Fargo. A short time ago, U.S. Attorney Drew Wrigley announced that Jonathan Montanez of Moorhead is facing a civil disorder charge. It is a felony and carries a maximum of 5 years in prison if convicted. Authorities allege Montanez agitated the crowd by jumping on a police squad car during the riots, damaging the vehicle. Montanez will be back in court on Friday. Police are working with the FBI looking for more people from that night, and Wrigley says they will pursue federal charges for all cases they can prove.
A man will spend 16 years in prison for beating and strangling his wife in January of 2019. Authorities say Jeremiah Kingbird and his wife were driving home after a night of drinking when they began to argue and got into a physical fight. Kingbird was accused of beating his wife in the head, strangling her before leaving her on a road on the Red Lake Reservation. The sentence includes 5 years of supervised release.
A Minnesota man who was reported missing has been found dead. We told you last night that 29-year-old Jeremiah Udi was found after he was reported missing on Sunday, but no other information was released at that time. Udi's body was found along the shoreline of Lake Pogama near the area where he was last seen.
The search continues for a missing 13-year-old boy from Breckenridge, Minnesota. The city said that Maxim ran away from school yesterday, and if you see him, call authorities at 218-643-5506. Meanwhile, a high-risk sex offender is now living in West Fargo. Martin Torres is living at 1805 Main Avenue West at the Red River Valley Fairgrounds. That's the campgrounds. He has 2 offenses on his record. One from 1998 for corruption and solicitation of a minor, and another from 2017 for forced sexual contact with a female between the ages of 7 and 11.
A man is in jail after police say he broke into an underground parking garage and stole from vehicles. Police went to the 2900 block of 34th Avenue South in Fargo at around 1 this morning to check on someone who was passed out behind the wheel. Police found Joseph Von Dahl sleeping in a running vehicle. Officers learned that he allegedly forced his way into the parking area and then broke into cars to steal items. He is in jail for burglary and possession of a controlled substance.
Felony theft charges have been filed against a woman accused of stealing upwards of $25,000 from the East Grand Forks VFW. 38-year-old Kathleen Pfaff of Larimore was hired at the VFW in early 2019 as a bookkeeper. From February of 2019 to March of 2020, the organization noticed money from the till would go missing and the ATM wasn't loaded with the correct amount of cash. When police confronted Pfaff about it, they say she admitted to sometimes messing up, and then she also tried to blame another person.
The Hawley Police Department is looking for public input as they plan to equip their officers with body-worn cameras. Comments can be sent to Chief Joseph Backlund at the address or email on your screen. A public hearing on the matter will be held October 26th at 6 p.m. in the City Council chambers. To learn more about the body-worn camera program, log on to our website, valleynewslive.com.
For drivers in Grand Forks, keep this in mind. Traffic signal upgrade work begins tomorrow around the city. Crews will be installing blue red light indicators and new backplates on the signals. Now, the work is planned on 27 signals, so it's going to take until the end of October to finish.
If you like to travel, you'll soon be able to enroll in a program that will get you through the security point faster. We'll tell you about the application process later on Valley News Live at 6.
But next, we had some windy weather across the valley. Peak wind gusts today approached 50 miles per hour in Carrington. Temperatures, well, we cooled off big time. Hey, those fall colors are really peaking now across Minnesota. Can you say snow? I'll have details on some flakes next.